This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM channel 158. Any way you take us in, we appreciate it. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin in the house, Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm well.
Good.
People who say that? I'm well.
I'm well.
No.
Doing well.
Answer it sincerely. They give it a pause of real thought. And they're like, I'm well. I just need the quick answer.
You know what my go-tos is in emails and text messages, and any of our guests out there that are listening right now know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, Pete Futek. Hey, Pete, it's been a while. Hope all is well.
Yeah.
Hope all is well. A line that I always include.
Hope all is well. Don't really want you to answer it.
Never say it in real life, in actual conversation, but I put it in texts and emails.
Will Hill on the show this hour. A couple segments of Will. All his bets. Football, college, pro, baseball, anything he's got going. Paul Spohr, speaking of baseball. Sorry about your Tigers, Paulie. Sorry for August. Sorry for the rest of the year. Feels that way. Tigers get off the schneid yesterday, though. Nick Whalen, NFL and fantasy football. Danny Higgins in his final week getting to submit some fantasy football questions in his final days here on the show. Mm-hmm. We got to give him that.
Maybe just copy and paste it over from yesterday, the ones we didn't get to.
Still from Danny Higgins, though.
Still from Danny.
So what you're saying is I shunned the Danny Higgins questions yesterday, but I am getting to them today.
No, but I feel like we're giving him too much credit today now.
Toddy Wishnev will join us. Talk, I don't know, it says NFL and MLB, but I don't know what he wants to talk about. Maybe WNBA.
I'm going to go with a little W.
Yeah, a little W, little MLB for sure. Maybe he's got some football. The star of the Megapod, star of the Showtime docuseries action. And how about some Ryan Noonan on the show today?
Oh, here's a hope all is well. Hey, Ryan, hope all is well. Just checking in. Want to see if you come on the show.
Noonan.
Noonan does some very interesting defensive prop betting stuff throughout the season.
We'll look at most sacks with him.
We'll do a little bit of that. I know he's got a lot of defensive rookie of the year, like kind of long shots that he's looking at.
All right.
But I kind of want to get into him with what he does with tackle, like handicapping tackles and sack props on a weekly basis. Because he does very well with it. I don't know many people that bet those markets.
Oh, we may not get to golf with him then. We got to get into that.
And golf.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's put golf on the back burner with him. But Kelly does have some golf to talk about today. We'll do some country clubbing. Let's start with the two little benchmarks we do here in the dead of summer, which is our monthly most wins. This got toit all of a sudden. Gold member, you're looking toit. This looked like it was a Phillies versus Padres mano-a-mano down the stretch. No more. Because look who the sneaky, freaky brother sneaking in from the rear is.
Incredible.
The Boston Red Sox, one win back. Philly still in the lead at 16-7. Remember, this is most wins. Red Sox 15-8, Padres 15-8. Padres lose a second consecutive extra inning game, right? Last night? They lose that one in extras last night again? Yeah. Not the team you would expect that to happen to. Cubs and Rays, couple wins back. Your Cubs, Kelly.
That's right.
The reason that we put the run differential up there is because if you bet these at Circa, there are tiebreakers, right? William Hill Caesars remembers dead heat. If teams tie at the end with the most wins, Circa, the two tiebreakers are fewest losses if you end up with the same amount of wins, followed by best run differential. So right now the Red Sox in the driver's seat on run differential at plus 50. Now I went back because the Red Sox here are knocking at the dough. I went back all the way to 2024 when we started this. March, April 2024, to see if we have ever had a consecutive monthly winner. Now, I cannot vouch for remember at the beginning, it's a little fakakta with March, April, and April. So I cannot vouch for whether there was an April and a May. But I can tell you there's never been a March, April, and a May. So if you use the March, April, and May standard, there has never been a back-to-back. 2024, 2025, and this much of 2026 for the length of time that we've been doing this. So the Red Sox are trying to be the first to do that. Current odds, Phillies are plus 120, Sox 2-1, short porch over the monster. Padres are 4-1. Everybody else double digits, starting with the Rays. The Cubbies are 35-1, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Real quick. Did you happen to look up? That's an I'm glad you went to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Did you happen to look up what best combined records were over 2 months?
I did not.
Because Red Sox have to have that right now, right?
Oh, when you have a 21-4 in the bank,
right?
You're 36-12 right now.
It's incredible.
July, August for the Red Sox.
Saw this note from ESPN, gone from 14 games under 500 to 14 games over 500 in 62 days, the second shortest such turnaround in MLB history.
They'll always have a place in our heart here on this show.
That is wild.
The
other one I caught, you brought up that extra inning outing last night. You know that was an O'Neal Cruz home run.
Yeah, rocket.
Mason Miller's first home run allowed in over a year.
Yep.
Whew. That guy's good.
Remember when we were tracking Mason Miller stats for the first round of the year? Yeah. It's just the Miz Urowski made a joke of NL Cy. Not that Mason Miller was definitely going to win it without him, because even Sanchez had a great year. Sale had a great year. There's tons in the National League.
And Skeens maybe doesn't suck again.
Skeens with his best outing last night in what he described a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that is for sure the case with him. How about Cal Raleigh homering in 4 straight at-bats?
That's pretty cool,
Welcome, Cal Raleigh, to the 2026 season.
The season has begun.
Mariners all of a sudden hey, we can do this. Tennis was not good yesterday. We had 5 plays. We're 2-3. That doesn't sound that bad. But remember, this is a really weird week. And I probably, I really should probably take this week off. This Winston-Salem men's Monterey, Mexico. I don't know. I really should, because I know it's weird because my numbers are coming out on the favorite side randomly this week. It's just a weird players playing in these tournaments, and yesterday was 2-3. We could have been 3-2. We should have been, perhaps. Contina Lis, who we had 50 cents of CLV on, was two points away from winning in straight sets. 5-3 in the second set tiebreaker. He gacked it. So that turned what would have been a winning day into a losing day. And there you go. And 2-3 doesn't sound bad when we're typically betting our dogs, but when we're betting favorites, it's not such a good day because you lose more than a unit, close to 2. Ignacio Busse today. For today we have 3, by the way, so I'm ratcheting it down. They're all on the men's side, and they're all favorites. Ignacio Busse minus 120 versus Daniel Altmaier. Sebastian Baez minus 148 versus Juan Manuel Cerundolo, 2 guys known as clay court players. But actually, their hard court numbers have improved through time.
Picking on the bad Cerundolo.
Yes, correct. And then Botic van de Zandschulp.
Nice.
Minus 147 versus Luciano Darderi. So Busse, Baez, van de Zandschulp. One of those names is not like the others.
Does anybody call him the BVZ?
I really don't believe they do.
Or would that be the BVDZ?
No,
I think it would just be the BVZ, right?
I think it would be the BV. Does he?
Yeah,
which is actually kind of cool.
That's what it should be.
BV to Z.
I kind of like that. You got to get that started.
Yeah. So hopefully a better day today after the 2-3 yesterday, which again is not a disaster, but with favorites not so hot. A couple things here before we move on the show, which is, I don't know how to put this. We have a couple stories where we leave at 10 a.m. Eastern and by the 10 a.m. Pacific, pardon me, and by the time we get back at 7 a.m. Pacific the next day, the story has come and gone. But they're worth bringing up. One of them is the college football story, which you could sort of tell, Kelly, when I slow play certain stories on this show, I will make some off-air editorial decisions of this college football story with the 5 for 5 and the players being eligible and stuff. I delayed that all the way till Daquan Wright last week. I know other people were talking about it. I'm just like, because there's not usually when I do that, when I usually omit, it's because there's not a direct line to betting. That's really the first thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, is this really a betting thing? And we talked with Montesano a little bit off air about how with basketball, you could kind of figure out maybe it is a betting story if certain guys come back with eligibility. But anyway, maybe I should have waited 3 more days because now the story is basically it's over.
I was going to say, I thought I was going to finish your thought for you. There's also sometimes we decide not to launch into things because the story's not done with.
Well, that's the thing. And so yesterday it kind of proved our instinct, which is the SEC now has joined the Big Ten in its unanimous opposition to athletes leaving the NFL and returning to college teams, swiftly passing a new conference rule that gives Commissioner Greg Sankey full authority to enforce it, quote, with penalties. They actually went a step further than the Big Ten, prohibiting anyone who's previously declared for pro basketball, men's or women's, from rejoining college athletics without appropriately withdrawing. So basically, cooler heads prevail. I mean, one sentence, college sports should be for college people, right? And so it looks like Notre Dame is expected to do the same thing here. The ACC is expected to do the same thing. The Big 12 is expected to do the same thing. The interesting part of, I will say this in closing. So it appears that this weird little hybrid thing is going to go away. But the interesting part about the the one article, and I am secret, even though I agree with all of this completely, amateur athletic, like we still have NIL. It's still a different sport than it ever was. We don't need this extra layer on top of it where guys suit up for the Cleveland Browns on Saturday and then play for LSU. The one paragraph in the article, though, that amused me so was this from ESPN. It's unclear if LSU football coach Lane Kiffin and men's basketball coach Will Wade will continue to pursue these players in violation of the new conference rules if they will let the courts decide or if they will part ways in compliance with the conference. I am actively rooting for this to happen, even though I completely agree with the conferences.
One, me too.
Yes.
Two, I mean, maybe we should have Sia Nejad on, but I think they're going to win. And there's Lane Kiffin again on TV talking about it, although this from yesterday.
Imagine by the way, I don't blame Lane Kiffin. That's his job.
No, this is
Although if you were hired by a new school, would you have the onions to do that?
Absolutely, because he probably went and talked to whoever are his bosses and said, you're going to give me this war chest of NIL money. This is what I plan to do with it, which is now legal because of the state. They probably approved it, and Lane Kiffin's going to fight this to the end.
Against his own school, against his own conference.
And he found a loophole. He's exploiting the loophole. They're now trying to close that loophole.
Like I said, I don't blame him because ultimately he's going to be judged on wins and losses, right?
I don't blame him at all. Yeah.
What drama. The other one, by the way, is Jamar Chase. It looked like it was a terrible injury. Now we're going to be okay.
He's fine.
He's fine. That game went yesterday, too. Coming back, numbers game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Wednesday's episode of Money Moves, the training camp tour bus, it returns home. The Las Vegas Raiders are up on our training camp tour. Ashton Genty injured. First overall pick, Fernando Mendoza on the bench. What does the future hold for Las Vegas? There is a very solid futures play to make. We'll tell you what it is and why. Slate of Major League Baseball will be dove into. More on the line moves and some updated news on this player when it comes to college football. Don't miss it. It's Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
College football is back, and the NFL season's just around the corner. Now's the time to get your edge with VSiN Pro. Next week, our updated NFL betting guide drops with preseason updates, week one betting systems, contest strategies, and updated best bets from VSiN's experts. Sign up today. You also get instant access to our college football betting guide, plus daily best bets, real-time betting splits for DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop projections, and 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Start for as little as $9.99, or save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe now. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Danny Higgins telling us that Lenore Sellers at South Carolina, you know, his academic slate is this week, what his curriculum is this week, this semester.
Big time challenge, huh?
Yeah. He is a intern at a golf range.
Man, how do you I thought like cart guy at the driving range was like lowest level you started. How do you be an intern at a driving range? That's something. It's a driving range, right? Not golf course, driving range. Like, golf course would be a little different.
Shrek McFeet, does your little buddy Owen have any eligibility left? Get him to LSU. Oh, that's a great idea.
The first tweet I sent out.
You know what? I'm going to text him that today.
Was it Monday or Tuesday when Trey Benson got waived or cut or whatever by the Cardinals? I was like, Florida State, give him a call.
O doesn't have any eligibility left, but if he did, that would be like a dude that's been on like multiple NFL practice squads for like 5 years, who's just a man amongst boys, just go back to school and crush. I may not have been great in college, but I'll tell you what, I've been in this league for 5 years. Watch this.
I think the one part of this conversation that like nobody, like I haven't heard brought up by that many people because I just don't think it makes that much sense anymore. But like 30 years ago, we would have been freaking out more about you can't have grown men playing football against teenagers. But like everybody playing in the SEC and Big Ten these days are just basically grown men. So.
Well, that's why I bring up the Sellers thing too. It's like it's all ridiculous.
Yeah.
Spence, bet a nickel. Thank you, Spence, for noticing, because Kelly and Danny didn't. No better tribute to Danny than having Noonan on the show, pouring out a Fresca for him. Good luck. How about a Fresca?
I did not notice it at the moment.
So I keep saying it. Duck fan for life. Gil, this is a great point, Duck fan. He says, Gil, do you think some of these better players in tennis are simply cashing their appearance fees this week and then half-assing their efforts so they can move on to the U.S. Open prep? Betting favorites makes me very nervous this week. I don't disagree necessarily. I'm just doing stuff by my numbers as per usual, but that's why I bring up some concerns as well. I totally understand your concern as well too, because you never know who. Yesterday also, just the way that they were played seems a little off, right? At least 2 points away, and then he gacks those, and it just complete collapse, which you don't really see on the men's side. Then we had Hijikata, who ended up winning. He was 2 points away from winning. Looked like he was going to gack it. Neither player could hold their serve, which in men's tennis is not a thing.
Yeah.
And so it was just, you're right. A lot is off this week, and we're ratcheting down to 3 today. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see if we even do any prior to the Open. The draw is on Thursday. The draw is tomorrow. Our podcast, Drew Dinsick, Zach Cohen, and I. Drew and I will be at the Win, broadcasting live on Twitter. But we will have it up in podcast form for the U.S. Open post-draw on Friday. And Tim Bauer's talking about our Rock the Casbah lyrical mess-up, or mine anyway. Again, 44 years, I thought it was Charlene Don't Like It. Apparently it's not Charlene, it's Sharif. Tim Bauer says, song lyric I've heard wrong all my life, Seal, Kiss from a Rose. I just learned yesterday it was Kiss from a Rose on the Gray, not grave. Kiss from a rose on the grave. I didn't know what that word was.
This is another great example.
No idea.
This is also what I brought up yesterday, though. Like if people tweeted it, they could tweet it 900 different examples of this that I wouldn't know either.
Well, I've
heard that song a million times. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm not a lyrics person, so I wouldn't know if that was gray or grave.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking with Rock the Casbah. I swear it was Charlene. And everybody we've had, Joe Pita, Chris Andrews, everyone I've asked has gotten it wrong with the same kind of conviction. It's only our listeners who are all convinced it was Sharif. Smartest listeners.
Oh, man.
MLB to reach the ALCS and the NLCS. So this is not to win the pennant, but to get to the AL Championship Series, the best of 7. Remember, it's best of 3, best of 5, best of 7. So again, 6 teams make the postseason per league. Only the top 2 division winners get buys. Then the third best division winner will have to take on the third wild card in a best of 3. First wild card, second wild card, they play a best of 3. Then it's a bracket, right? They don't reseed. It's a bracket. The next round is a best of 5, the DS, the divisional round. We're talking about to reach the best of 7 championship series. American League, Yankees plus 150. I agree with this. Again, Yankees at full strength, to me, are still head and shoulders above the fray. Aaron Judge. Meaning he would be full strength whenever that happens. Aaron Judge plus 150.
I was a little surprised they were the favorite.
No, not me. I'll tell you the one that I would, again, you know where I'm going. Red Sox plus 280. And the reason I feel that is the same reason why, again, talked about him in July also, which I love the back end with the Red Sox with Whitlock and Chapman, 8 and 9, plus 280. The bats woke up. This, to me, is still the team in a playoff situation that I like the most. And again, full strength, right? They got players that they need to come back as well, big-time players. So I just think that's the best bet on the American League board. And I don't trust any of the other teams. Like, I just don't trust. I know a lot of people will say with the Rays and a lot of people love the White Sox. White Sox, by the way, you better watch out. Guardians in the rear view now, 2.5 back in the AL Central. But I ultimately don't in a playoff situation. I certainly don't trust the Rangers or Astros. The other, I mean, the team that there are still going to be a lot of folks who are like Mariners. Mariners have the pitching, right? Man, it's been 130, 135 games, whatever it is right now. I can't get there anymore with them. Maybe it was what was the month we had in May, was it? Maybe it was that experience. They weren't even that bad, but as Todd warned me before that month, he goes, "Oh, you're going to be so frustrated with them." But I don't know. You can make a case for them too.
The one I wanted to ask you about was the White Sox, because I think what's interesting about this market and how it can play out is, okay, you've got the three top teams right now, American League standings, right, are all AL East. So only one of these teams is getting a bye, right?
Correct.
So that's right. Then you got to look at, okay, who's next? It's White Sox that would be next up. And then the Guardians. But White Sox, you get that bye, you only got to win one series to cash this ticket then, and one best of 5 series. So you'd be grabbing, right? You have White Sox in theory.
This is why the Rays are as short priced as they are, right? Because the Rays are still clinging to the lead in the AL East, and the White Sox are clinging to that lead in the AL Central. You're right. That is why they are priced how they are right now.
So that's where I'm just like, you could have plus 260 going into a best of 5 series, and that's all you got to have. That's your series price.
But it's also a case for taking if you feel like the Guardians or the Twins, I won't even say the Tigers at this point, but if you feel like, let's just include them. If you feel a team will unseat the White Sox
right
in the AL Central, and will then still end up there's another layer, and then we'll still end up with a better record than the team that wins the AL West, which is how it looks.
Correct.
Which is how it looks now. But if you unseat the White Sox, chances are that's going to be a coin flip too, between who's the second best division winner. But I guess from what I'm saying is, if you think the Guardians are going to continue this surge, and Guardians have a really easy schedule. Plus 650 is the case for them.
I mean, they're 2.5 back from the White Sox. So I like this example because you're 2.5 back from a bye. You could have plus 650 in a best of 5 series. I think we're breaking this down well. I think what I'm getting out of you though is we'd have to be higher on these teams that we're talking about right now.
Well, no, I mean, no, we're breaking it down well in terms of finagling the best price, right? Because the AL Central, to the top 2 division winners get there, right? So the AL Central currently has the White Sox on top, but only a 2.5 game lead over the Guardians. The White Sox are 69 and 63.
And only a 3 games.
The Astros lead the West at 66 and 66, 3 games worse currently, but they only have a half game lead over the Rangers and a 2.5 game lead over the Mariners. So the Mariners and Guardians become the price play. But then you have to get your brain to, okay, even if I get that part right, like I feel super smart, I called it. The Guardians won the Central. The Central leader ended up being better than the West. I skipped the best of 3. You still have to talk yourself into the Guardians winning a best of 5 which, by the way, you may be okay with because it's still just one best of 5.
I think Rangers, Astros, Mariners, Guardians all apply for this conversation. You just got to be confident they're going to get that high in the regular season.
I would argue the Mariners at 6-1 are a better play than the Guardians at plus 650 for winning a best of 5.
Okay, I like it. I think it's a cool market.
But if you're the Mariners, you got to get through both the Astros and Rangers, and then you have to have a better record at the end than the AL Central leader.
Yeah. I think this is
to
cool.
avoid
I
the
think
best
this is
of
cool
3.
now that we have the double bye.
It's super cool because you have to make all of those sort of machinations in your head to try to determine what the best bet is. And by the way, definitively, there probably isn't one. But that's how you have to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
NL's not quite as interesting as this. This is a flat earth American league. Will Hill, maybe he has some thoughts on this. All his bets next on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. The Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hey, please don't forget about the sharp plays, unmatched transparency with the records updated daily. That's records updated daily. AI betting analysis, real-time global betting info, and alerts directly from the pros. Check them out, sharpplays.com. Scan the QR code for more. We get tweets beating the book. Tronsky, John Osher, hey, Gil, NCAA has brought this upon themselves. Yeah, they have. Such a failure. Yet another one. This 5 for 5 rule. How did they not think to include the class of 22? Hey, everyone, it's 5 years from now on, but starting next year. What? This is totally going to court, he says. I think you might be right. Chris Heath, I've heard nothing but if there's a side at Stanford versus Hawaii, the line is down to a cheap Stanford -3.5 now. See if Will Hill has a play on that game. Stanford, Hawaii. Terrence B. I missed some of the show yesterday, so you may have shouted him out, but Shock G's birthday was yesterday. R.I.P. Your reference or homage to him never gets old. Thank you, Terrence. I appreciate that. He's talking about when Torch D tweets in, and I will say Torch D, the one who put the stat in your panties, even though it's Shock G. Las Vegas 514. Yo, we all love Michael Jackson, but his classic song, Want to Be Starting Something, help me sing it. Oh, here we go with lyrics. Las Vegas says it's Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa. I always thought it was Pusa. Yeah, that's one that will trouble us till the dawn of time, till the end of time. He said, I never ever knew what the hell he was saying. Did you? No, I think he's saying something. That's all he's saying, something like that. The question is it Kasa at the end of that, Kusa or Pusa is the only thing. Really, this is a great radio show right now.
Yeah,
we're deciphering that. Will Hill joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at @NotTheWillHill, 2 E's on the "the." He is the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast, which thank God I saved him for, because he was going to name it the I deeply regret having not made that wager earlier because I would have won a lot of money and now I want to harm myself. And I was like, just call it Shoulda Bet More. And he was like, cool. Will Hill joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line.
Thank God for Gil Alexander, as usual.
Thank God he knows me. Let's put up the scan the QR code for his podcast. Can we do that so people can download and subscribe? We'll see if we can get that up there.
It'll jump on the screen at some point in
What up,
bright
Willie?
neon green.
What's going on? Yeah, forever grateful. And I would say the highlight in the podcast that I just dropped today, Dave Ross talking about his courting of Charlize Theron on Twitter. You got to check that out. I guess there's a Longhorn Steakhouse that opened near Dave. He's got high hopes. So our boy Dave kind of shooting for the stars there.
Can we just talk about the first half of that? So what Will's talking about. So Charlize Theron, famous actress, right?
Gorgeous.
Kelly editorializes with gorgeous, which I think is a universal consensus. By the way, who's the most universally consensus gorgeous? Cindy Crawford, would we say? Lifetime? Anyway,
good question.
So Charlize Theron, who is older now.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. She put out a thing on Twitter where it was kind of like what the kids call a thirst trap, right? It's just like look at me attention thing where she's like, hey, are like older women not attractive, right? That kind of thing, So she was like begging for a response, and our own Dave Ross took the bait, shot his shot.
Dave lives on Twitter, man. You don't think something like that can't occur with him without him weighing in? Come on.
Let us know how it goes, Dave. Anyway,
he's going to ask her her Ryder Cup thoughts for next year.
Yeah.
Fascinating dinner conversation.
What was your point about that?
He did have
again?
a good line. He says, as long as we don't talk politics, I think it'll go okay.
That's great. At least Dave has the self-deprecating humor about it. Okay, you were, by the way, we noticed a lot of people bounced out of the app this morning, so you weren't able to listen to the previous segment. So this is actually, I don't know that when we put it up, we thought it would be as fun of a discussion, but this is a market to reach the championship series in baseball. So not to win the pennant, but just to reach the best of 7. And this is kind of fascinating in the American League because you have to make a determination of not only what team is set up for the playoffs, but you want to try to make a determination of who can avoid the best of 3 to begin with as a sort of catapulting nature to this. So, that brings the Mariners and the Guardians up because they're right in second place, only a couple games back in their respective divisions. But you want to, the other part of this is you have to hope, if you're the Mariners or the Guardians, that your division winner, ultimately, if it's you, ends up being the better of the two behind the AL East, which we assume will be the best division winner of the 3, because only the top 2 get the bye. So it's a like a 3-layered thing. Where do you land on this?
I'm just looking now to make sure. I mean, because the team I like is the Mariners, but the Mariners, even though they've played well here, are still 5 games under. The White Sox are 5 games over. So that's 6 in the loss they'd have to make up. I like Seattle. I think there's value plus 190 to win the division. I talked about it on the podcast. Talked a little bit last night. Femi Abebefe, it's funny. He didn't listen to the podcast. Podcast wasn't even up yet. We kind of came on this independently. But you look at the schedule. Now, the market knows the schedule, and the odds makers know the schedule. But I think it's 17 of the last 22 games, guys, for the Mariners are against the A's, the Angels, and the Rockies. They play 5 games against their competition, the AOS, the Astros, and the Rangers. All 5 of those games are in Seattle. So I know, like, at this point of the season, you are who you are. And for a team that's 5-6 games under to say, all right, now they're going to get going. Like, you are who you are at this point. But that being said, there's a lot of talent there. If you just look, player for player, I mean, they should have been in the World Series last year. They were up 2-0 going home for games 3, 4, and 5. And then had a lead at game 7. I know a lot of guys have underachieved, but they call up Kate Anderson, the hot shot prospect, the lefty pitcher. They've got Gilbert and Kirby and all these guys who we kind of like that. I kind of think, feel like they should be a little bit better than they are. But to me, you can poke holes in the Astros, who are just firing people left and right in first place, which is kind of unusual for a baseball team to do in August. That's in first place, fire their GM and keeping their manager. But that was a discussion. Rangers can't really hit. DeGrom's not the same. I think the Mariners, those are the best bang for your buck. Now, they're going to have to play the best 2 out of 3, I think. I don't think they're catching the White Sox, but at 6-1, you get them home for the best 2 out of 3, and you're 1 round away. If you win that from cashing a 6-1, so plus 190 or so to win the division for Seattle, and plus 600 to reach the ALCS, I don't think either of those are bad bets.
Yeah, and as far as to reach the ALCS, maybe you're right. Maybe even if they do play the best of 3, maybe that's still the best number on the board. And to just sort of crystallize what you're talking about, Cleveland had the easiest remaining schedule for the biggest part of this summer. And now the way that it has shifted with 29 games left in the season, Seattle, correct, is the team with the easiest remaining schedule based on aggregate win percentage of remaining opponents. 440 is the Mariners' aggregate win percentage of opponents remaining in the season. Cleveland, third easiest at 471. So, yeah, Seattle, I mean, you said it, Rockies, Angels, Athletics. I mean, 7 against the Angels, 7 against the Athletics, not to mention Blue Jays and Rangers and teams like that as well. So, yeah.
And they got rid of, they had to play the Cubs for 3 this past weekend and the Phillies for 2. They've already won, 4 out of the 5. They had a walk-off Saturday against the Cubs where, I mean, you don't win a game like that. You get maybe 1 a year like that, where they were down 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, 2 out, nobody on, double, single, walk-off home run, back-to-back-to-back, and they won that game. So maybe that's the kind of win that gets them going. I do think there's some value there with Seattle.
Yeah, it's so funny, too, because we're 133 games in, and we're still with 29 games left. We're still
I know.
Any day now, Seattle. Anytime you're ready, you make your move. You still have time.
Well, if Cal Raleigh homers in every game they play,
that would help.
That would help. They got a shot.
I keep comparing it to when you're trying to start your car and it's just you think it's going to start, it's about to start, it's making the noise, then it kind of dies. Maybe one of these times it's actually going to start here for Seattle. Maybe it's starting right now.
Wow, that was such East Coast memories right there. Just trying to start the car, over and over. Oh yes. Okay, sorry, had a memory. I drifted for a moment. You do have a couple plays in Major League Baseball today, starting with the O's at the Cardinals interleague play.
Yeah, and as far as the 6 seed, I think the Orioles are my team now. These teams are all flawed, and Cleveland has the lead right now. But I still like Baltimore's talent, I think, more than everybody else. I like Kyle Bradish more than I like McGreevy. You look at McGreevy, the expected ERA is way up there. The expected batting average in the 280s. His numbers are really poor all across the board in the underlying stuff. Now, he's outpitched a lot of that, but I got the better pitcher. I'm okay with the price here. I'm surprised it's only minus 105. Wouldn't be surprised if that ticks up a little bit. So I like Baltimore here to beat St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah, you've steadfastly remained behind the O's the whole way through. So, again, there are markets of who will be the 6th seed. Great ways to bet baseball all throughout the season, not only just pre-flop. And then the Cubbies are in action today. Every team is in action today. You like the Cubs at even money.
Yeah, I didn't give it out anywhere yesterday, but I bet them last night. Oh, that was a rough way to go to bed here. A little after midnight on the East Coast, blowing a 4-run lead late and a walk-off, an out away, maybe a strike away from winning that. I think they win today, though. They've hit left-handed pitching well all year. Number 1 in the league, OPS against lefties. Eduardo Rodriguez, the ERA is about half what the expected ERA is, so there's some negative regression coming his way. Boyd's not great. I thought about maybe playing Cubs first 5 team total over 2.5, trying to get at just the Cubs lineup versus Rodriguez. I did that the other day against Kelly, and everything else won except the team total. So sometimes it's, you fade the pitcher and you figure out the pitcher you want to fade, and that's the easy part. But then the hard part is like executing. Do I go first 5 team total over? Do I just pick the game? I'll just stick with the game, although I think those other bets are decent derivatives to play. But I'll go Cubs to bounce back after a rough loss here and get the win.
By the way, before the Cubs forked over that 4-0 lead yesterday, losing to the Diamondbacks 5-4, they set a franchise record on Tuesday by scoring their 30th unanswered run over 3 games. Remember, they trailed 2-0 to the Mariners. They scored 19 straight to win that 19-2. Then they shut out the Diamondbacks 7-0, and then they went to the 4-0 lead. 30 consecutive runs, breaking their previous record of 29 over a 3-game stretch in 1969. Cubs have been a franchise since 1870, since they started as the Chicago White Stockings. Coming back on a numbers game.
The chaos continues the week after Thanksgiving.
But that's the beauty of this contest. You've got to make 18 picks plus the 2 on the holidays.
Well, week 14 early was brutal. We're down to 11 right now.
At this point, you have to walk away with money. You got to get your money now.
All the entries on 3 teams.
If you haven't had 7 heart attacks playing Survivor already, you're probably lucky.
New episodes Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
College football is back, and VSiN has everything you need to get ready for kickoff with the College Football Betting Guide. Inside, you'll get Matt Euman's preseason top 50 previews for all 138 FBS teams, plus best bets and conference champion picks from VSiN's hosts and experts. Get the guide and everything else VSiN Pro has to offer for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
post game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Have I ever said we have the best listeners
in
the history of radio? Because we do. We get tweets, Speedy the Book. This is from Skit at Schizo360. He says, Michael Jackson actually says, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not going to stop. Source, trust me, bro. There's that. And then Torch D has tweeted in after I sort of set out a bat signal for him. Torch D goes, all right, big moment here for me. I've been tweeting into this show for the last 4 years. Every time I do, you say, the one who puts the satin in your panties. What does that mean? I haven't a clue, and I've been hearing it almost daily since 2022. So Torch D, for whatever reason, when you tweet in, I thought to myself, Torch D sounded to me like Shock G. And Shock G, in the famous Tupac hit, I Get Around, Shock G from Digital Underground says, the one who put the satin in your panties. That's all that is.
See, I keep learning.
Yeah, man.
I continue to learn.
Kelly's learning right around.
I didn't know that was the song that came from.
Uncle so, Torch D.
Years later, Torch, we're all getting caught up. Okay, buddy?
The funniest part of this, Torch D had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah, he didn't have any idea. I didn't have any idea. We're learning.
Yeah, but you know who did? Terrence B. knew exactly what I was talking about. Uncle Bush, Charlize Theron. I've been saying Sharif Theron this whole time. Tying it all together. Let's see. Willie B. Benton.
I've got a problem with this take. Willie B. Benton. Sidney Crawford's on the Mount Rushmore, he says, for sure. But my wife and I both agree that Tiffany Amber Thiessen should be on there. She went from the hottest girl next door to the hottest cougar on Food Network. I mean, look, I watched as much Saved by the Bell as any human being on the planet back in the day.
Oh, it's fine television on a Saturday morning.
That's right. Wasn't that the TGIF? Wasn't that the start of that?
Oh, I would watch it on Saturday mornings. I was in college watching
it. Was on at all times back in the 90s, man.
Elizabeth Berkley, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Lark Voorhees.
There you go. Look at you.
Oh, trust me, I know about it.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think old Tiff is getting up there.
Dell, Mind the Gap Radio. Why does the long snapper need to occupy a roster spot if we can't teach another position to long snap or punts? Ridiculous. This is harkens back to the Matt Brown. We don't have a punter who can kick that 21-yard field goal?
That one I find more ridiculous. When they got to turn to the wide receiver instead of like the punter. I know those long snappers, man. They got long arms. They're like in shape. They don't look like other offensive linemen.
No Emu Doug. Gentlemen, thank you. My days are not mine because I am my wife's caregiver and she requires many therapy and medical appointments. It may seem trite, but I look forward to your show as it provides consistency and entertainment to my mornings. I hope to stop by and say hi someday. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Thank you, No Emu Doug, and I hope your wife gets better soon. And great of you to take on that responsibility, and I hope everything works out better quickly for you and your wife. Will Hill, kind enough to join us for a second segment here, ostensibly to talk college football. But before we talk about college football and get a few picks, I brought up the thing about the Cubs and 30 consecutive runs. You love baseball like I do, and I'm always fascinated by these records that you don't even know, right? No one would know, hey, what's the Cubs' consecutive runs streak record, right? And you find out it was 29. They broke it with 30 straight before another team scored. This one the other night falls under the category of, really, this never happened before? And then I thought about it a little more, and I'm like, oh, I guess there were enough qualifiers that it did. And what I'm referring to is the Pirates beat the Padres. They've been beaten twice in a row now. In extra innings. But 2 nights ago, they did so in the 12th inning, and they beat the Padres 3-2. Yohan Ramirez came in for the Buccos, and he recorded the only save in MLB history, since saves became official in 1969, to include 3 strikeouts with the tying run in scoring position in the 12th inning or later. Is that... I can't believe that's never happened before.
It's wild.
But I guess 12th inning and beyond, 3 strikeouts, runner in scoring position was enough qualifiers to get to that.
Well, and you have the extra inning ghost runner now too, right? So you have one in the scoring position.
So there's more opportunities.
Right.
Was that surprising to you, Will? That's the first time ever?
A little bit. I mean, I guess like what you said, though, there's enough qualifiers where it makes sense that it wouldn't have happened. But they've been playing baseball a long time. So anytime anything happens for the first time, it does kind of raise your eyebrows.
Interesting. All right, North Carolina, TCU. Remind us how you're playing this.
Under 47.5. Billy Edwards Jr., the quarterback for North Carolina, won the job, and all reports from North Carolina, he won it because he's kind of a caretaker of the ball. He doesn't turn it over, no negative plays. To me, it sounds like game manager, conservative. Belichick's gotten conservative here in these latter years. The kid for TCU, that's the quarterback, is Jaden Craig. Comes over from Harvard, step up in competition. They figure they'll probably be conservative, and a little bit of weather there in Ireland, and this game is in Ireland. Little rain, little wind. 47.5. I mean, if you can get a better number, those are some key numbers, and it keeps dropping, but I think it keeps dropping for a good reason. You can still get under 47.5, but I think that's still a good play here. Let's see if Belichick's team be a little more competitive. I want them to be. I don't want this to end like this for Belichick. Just as you mentioned, I like baseball history. I like baseball. Football, as a football historian too. I know Belichick more of a polarizing figure, but I mean, do we really want to see him go 3-9 at North Carolina, get fired, and that's how his career ends? I don't have much hope that it's going to go like really well, but I'd like to see them be a little bit better than people think.
Well, maybe you shouldn't run up the score on Joe Gibbs 2.0 and act like, well, if you don't want to score so many points, maybe you should stop us. Stop being that guy. Have class. You brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but that's my response. San Jose State Spartans.
I pet the tiger. That's what happened.
Yes, you did. At USC. This is at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. USC favored by a tidy 38.5. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go USC team total over 48.5, minus 130 at DraftKings. Look, Lincoln Riley, when he has a chance to name his score, he usually names it pretty highly. They played San Jose State a few years ago. They scored 56. There's a 73 against Missouri State. There's a 59 against Georgia Southern in the last couple of years. And Todd Wishnev, I think, is coming on. I think you can ask him. I want to say Wishnev, Todd had a bet against USC, like in game, getting 1 million points, figuring USC was going to take the foot off the gas. I think it was USC, and USC was like with a minute left in a 40-point lead, and Todd basically had a conniption. I know there was a Lane Kiffin USC game maybe last year, but you get the idea. Yeah, Lane Kiffin, Riley's going to run up the score. 49's that key number, 7 touchdowns, and if you look at the past recent history against Cupcakes, you figure they'll get to 7 touchdowns. So team total over 48.5 for USC is how I'm playing.
Yeah, I think I remember. It was an early season USC game a couple years ago, I want to say, something like that. And Todd did throw a conniption. Good word. Yeah. We're sorry about it.
And he'll get in that chat and just send 3 straight messages in a row talking to nobody, to himself. Can you believe this? Exclamation points, capital letters, and he just has one of his meltdowns, which are amusing.
All right, let's go to the ACC. North Carolina State at Virginia. Cavaliers favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I like the points here. NC State, they ticked up to 6 yesterday. You might still be able to find a 6, but very rarely do you get a quarterback. You almost have to do a double take anytime you see a quarterback actually returning to the team he played for last year in this age of college football. But CJ Bailey for NC State, this is his junior year. He played as a freshman. He played as a sophomore, 52 career touchdowns. He's actually pretty good. And Virginia lost a lot on offense. They lost their quarterback, Chandler Morris, to I don't say to the pros, because I don't know if he's going to make the NFL, but they lost a lot of their backfield. And they won a lot of close games last year. To me, this is just a close game, a field goal game. I like having Bailey and the points here. So I'm going to take NC State plus the points. And just from past years, Gil, week 0, week 1, if the points, not the worst idea to put a little on the money line too, because you do it up where it's hard to price these teams, kind of appropriately.
Will, your audio got a little janky here. We only have like 90 seconds left. Repeat what you just said. Week 0, week 1, what was your point?
Money lines.
Yeah, week 0, week 1, you see a lot of. Yeah, week 0, you see a lot of upsets, a lot of variance this early in the season.
Okay, so take your shots. And real quick, then, what's the most outlying college football season-long Will Hill thought of the year?
I'm not sold on Texas. I'm not sold on Texas. I think Texas could have a disappointing year. I think Arch Manning's a little overrated.
Okay. When I ever ask that question, I think we've gotten that answer multiple times.
Oh, we've got
Texas being overrated.
Going back to like the Houston Texans conversation yesterday, the college conversation I've heard back and forth all offseason. It's Arch is overrated or Arch is the best quarterback, and he just had a down beginning of the season, and he's going to be great.
I don't feel like he's going to enter the draft next year. If it's the team he doesn't like, I have a feeling he might stick around.
I mean, it's not a crazy take anymore, right?
It's not at all.
It's not wild.
Will, we're not going to chance it anymore. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Will Hill, everybody.
Pay those internet bills.
I milked that as long as I could before I...
Telephone bills, automobiles.
There you go, Kelly. One of the great lyrics of all time. Pay my telephone bills, pay my automobiles.
That's right. I've never seen that with Will, though. We never.
No, he's always got
I don't
a great
remember
connection.
Will getting choppy like that before. That was weird.
I don't either. Maybe
Thanks, Will.
Charlie.
It's a great reminder. I do it as well. Beginning of seasons, right? NFL, NBA, college basketball. If you think you've got a leg up on the books are trying to figure it out too. It might be a sprinkle the money line later in the season. It's bet a higher percentage of money line early in the season on dogs.
For sure. Keep that in mind.